Hi everyone, Day here, and welcome back to my Let's Play of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I know this is probably like a weird spot to start the game off with, but I figured it's easier than just trying to scroll down later on. Sorry for the absence. I know it's been about 7 months, at least according to my YouTube algorithm, so it has been a very long time. Hopefully now it will be a little bit more smoother, and with that said, which I know is very brief for a lot of things I have to say, but I just really want this to be consistent with the rest of the other videos. So currently we're just gonna hop right on in to start investigation part 3. Plus I really want to finish this case. I want to know what happens. I need to know what happens rather. 9th January, SS Bureau, Miss Pavlova's cabin. I forgot everyone's voices, so we shall see how this turns out. Hopefully it turns out well. Hard to say. Somehow the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted as we made an emergency stop. Susato-san took a deep breath, then gently slid back the bolt. Okay. I did not watch the previous video before starting this up, so we shall see how this goes. You, what are you doing in Miss Pavlova's quarters? You both look unhurt. Good. Yes, we're fine, thank you. What on earth happened? You look destroyed. That was probably something that happened in the last video, because it seems like there's not going to be any explanation towards it, but I don't remember it, and he looks terrible. Absolutely dreadful. We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship. Yes, it appears to have been a false report though. Ooh, a false report. Oh, how did that happen? There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought he saw a ship ahead. This person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop. Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming. Crew are running everywhere. This first class area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment. Oh, I see. Someone triggered the alarm? Does that mean that it was done intentionally to like throw off some part of the investigation? I probably should have watched the last video. Oh my gosh. That someone pressed that button outside? Oh, he speaks of the... I can't really recall it, but I do remember the hallway. Ah! You wicked intruder! Dressed all in black! You are the devil! Sorry, me? I've been called a lot of things before, but devil is a first. You opened my traveling case! How could you? What? No! We didn't touch it! That's right, Miss Pavlova. Oh! Susato. How does it feel to be accused of something that you know rightfully that you didn't do? It was already open when we came into your cabin. Inspector! Yes? Arrest this man! I know he did it! He is a criminal! Is it not enough that he has killed a man? Whoa. You're not allowed to just jump to conclusions like this. Duh! And here is a stowaway as well. A vixen promises not to steal chicken. Do you believe? If a fox were to say something about stealing a chicken, I wouldn't believe it because foxes don't speak English. Or I guess Russian if that's what you're speaking. Hard to say. Japanese? I don't know. Take him away. He is a trespasser as well as everything else. I mean, I wouldn't think Pavlova is speaking anything but Russian. But I suppose that can't possibly be the case. They may be speaking English. That would be the only way I can see how everyone's like communicating with each other. Because I highly doubt, the Japanese know Russian and the Russian know Japanese. Storing away. Trespassing, killing, She is right. You are devil. It doesn't look good, does it? There is a cell below deck. Throw him in. Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong. Then we give you straight to police. Wait, a cell? Please, Inspector Hasanaga. Is there nothing you can do? This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options. This is terrible. This is a real crisis. I've got to find a solution. Immediately. Okay. Press move. Okay, we do not want to move. We want to examine. And then come over here. Speak to you. What the? What are you doing up there? Mr. Sholmes? With the tiara, no less. Naturally. I was analyzing what a weight of 20,000 rubles feels like on one's head. Have I not told you that, as a detective, it is my business to know what other people do not? This isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. Oh, no. Well, why were you hanging from the hook before then? Isn't it obvious? To properly assess the weight of the 20,000 rubles, naturally. I wish to determine if it would bend that conceited-looking hook on the wall, so full of brag and bounce. My favorite animation of all time. I can't help it. Best animation, no doubt. At least for now. I never know whether to take this man seriously or not. Don't take him seriously. It's easier that way. You again, the great detective. Inspector. I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you, most urgently. Well, you might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time. That would potentially help his cause. Yes, I have to agree with that. What is the report? Speak! An urgent report from a great detective can mean but one thing. Something new in the investigation, I assume. Yes. The case of the curious murder that took place last night, here on this very vessel, the Steamship Bureau, has been solved. By me, naturally. How many times are you going to say naturally, sir? That does not make you sound very reassured at all. Pavlova. What? Really? Yes, I have eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanations exist. So, allow me to illuminate all of your minds. For I am about to reveal my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. I am awesome. Ha! You have solved it. Wow, I read that completely terribly, but even Hedgehog understands this case. We all knew who was responsible for killing student boy this morning when we found criminal in wardrobe. It is the stowaway, and he has handcuffs to prove it. Handcuffs mean nothing, sir. I object. Objection. I didn't do it. The trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim. Because, as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must be someone who is inside the cabin. Yes, it's what's called a locked room mystery in detective stories. Susato, we literally just had an instance of how the door could have been bolted shut. When I started this up, it said that the door was bolted shut and Susato slid it open. So, we know of a way in which the room could have been locked. Locked room. That is point. Oh, her little gentle head nod. Oh, it was adorable. The room was locked. Well, I can't deny it. There's no way the bolt could have been drawn across from outside the cabin. Oh my god. I have to replay the end of the last episode. I don't fully know. I just know how this episode started. And it started with them saying the door was locked and Susato unlocked it. I know they didn't lock it themselves. I know that much. And I forgot how, I want to say that the ship moved itself or something, but you are all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all. What? Second time, Cisato? Oh yes, there is another entrance indeed. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin despite the boat door. What other entrance? We never discovered one. Why? It gapes open mouthed at you even as we speak. Not the grate, but the ventilator. The ventilator, man. The ventilator, man. The ventilator. You think this is funny? No, sir. You think this is funny. You were the only one laughing. Jeez. I cannot even put my arm through that hole. That's because your arms are as thick and beefy as tree trunks. Like, come on. You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through that tiny opening? It's not possible. Ah, but it is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator. Well, she's mum in the mouth, so it seems like he may be on the right path here.
Mr. Sholmes, do you mean... Are you referring to the words Kazuma-sama wrote in his diary? 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
Absolutely. Precisely, my dear madame. But what does it mean? What is this speckled band? The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin. What a very straightforward image. I don't recall him ever just... Give it to me, man. Give me the 1-2 punch jib jab. Come on. Mr. Sholmes? What are you doing? My favorite animation of ever all times. That's what he's doing. There is a distinct element of danger, but fear not. I am ready. What I am about to expose for you all to see will shock you to your very cores. Behold. Yah! Yah! What the? I hope that wasn't too loud. Oh, oh wow, I love this snake. It looks so well animated. Like, you can see the scales. It looks good. It looks amazing. Allow me to introduce you all to the bond, the speckled bond. A snake? Indubitably. A snake? So her pet was a snake? Okay. Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Pray, what troubles you? Well, that snake isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more stripy, wouldn't you say? I wouldn't necessarily use the word stripy, but yeah, stripy is probably the best way to describe it.
Yes, you're right. I think in this case, you'd have to call it the striped band. Wouldn't you?
Yeah. We didn't see that coming, Mr. Sholmes. It seems like your investigation was a little bit off. You both see and observe with distinction, however. Do you not think that is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall?
Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap?
How exactly? I don't know how indeed. I think perhaps it is time I explain the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova?
I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death is nothing to do with me. This whole thing is nothing to do with me.
very dismissive there, Miss Pavlova. There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one, last night your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. I see that it's a little choppy on my OBS, but unfortunately I can't. I'm in too deep now. I will try to fix it for the next video. And number two, that same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life.
No!
It's a good thing I'm doing this with a visual novel and not say something a little bit more graphically inclined. It's noticeable, but it's not too terrible just because of the novel aspect of the game. She's turned as white as a bowl of rice again. Sholmes must be right. He's hit the nail on the head. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Asogi. Asogi? He's saying something, but as to what he's saying, we have no idea. It looks like he can't speak with that snake coiled around his head. I would advise as little movement as possible, Seaman. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend in your neck. So everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Oh my. Do it! Do it! Ah! Yes! The great deduction, the game is afoot. Topic number 1. Intruders Identity. Oh, I love these so much. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. My kind of, sort of impersonation of him voicing her. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching hearts smarts with pain. Her heart? It looked like she was grabbing her hand, but okay. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. Please twirl around her. Twirl to your heart's merry content. I love it. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Aha, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. I say, the victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled bond. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. I cannot help but love every freaking moment in this whole I don't even know what to call it. It's not a charade. I mean, it's kind of a charade because of the fact that chances are a lot of the information he's given is wrong, but gosh, it's so good. Especially when you consider this was a 3DS game at one point. What explanation can we then give, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night?
No! Don't look at me! This has nothing to do with any of this!
Why did you pull it out of your pocket? Oh, that was literally just dang video game bait right there. Like, why did she pull it out of her pocket? Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that which you are trying, but failing, to conceal can only be the snake's slow skin. Evidently, after the subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours shed his original skin. No? Wait, what? That didn't really look like snake skin to me. At least not this particular snake, which he's trying to accuse of the crime.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Last night, I love how he's just like continuing on despite her proclamations that she has nothing to do with this. He does not care one bit. He's like, I am in the middle of doing my thing. We will get to you later. Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, His thin speckled friend slithered next door. Using the bell cord on the other side of the bridge, the serpent silently descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light, it appeared to the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled bond. Pavlova says nothing. I mean, honestly, she can't say anything. He's gonna just continue on anyway. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of snake whose markings change each time it slows its skin. Sir, no. A snake so dreadful, we can only imagine it will be found in the deepest depths of India. India! Okay, so you're just making up stuff now. Conclusion: a beloved speckled snake. Topic number 2. How Mr. Asogi died. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter. The grim demise of the victim. He literally took the light away by grabbing it in the palm of his hand and then snapping on the image he wants. It's too good. Gosh, I wish the previous Ace Attorney games had something as just visually stunning as this. And I know, graphically it's like subpar in today's modern, beautifully graphical age, but it's so good even still. Like, it's so great. I love it. How did this young man lose his life? And why? Pavlova knows now. She can't say a word. She's literally just succumbed to the fact that he's just going to lead the way. According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury. Which means no snake bite, wouldn't it? So maybe poison? In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. I just said that may not be possible. Not unless, I guess maybe the snake bit him in a place they haven't checked, which I would have to assume just because the game wants to progress the story that's not the case. No, if we take that as fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime. Okay, she had exclamation points, so therefore there probably is evidence at the scene of the crime. I'm trying to catch up and try to remember what it was that happened in the past. Like, cause I just pretty much plopped myself right back into the thick of it. Oh no, could there be? So she knows something. She pretty much admitted it by saying, oh no, could there be? Yes! An explanation of the deceased body will prove the cause of death conclusively. The almost, but not quite, imperceptible puncture wounds left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the vestiges of the snake bite delivered by your terrifying friend. This makes no sense! It doesn't, but he's on a roll, okay? There is no stopping him now. There is no point to feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? Okay, that's true, but now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case. That's true, it was moving before. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt. You don't! It is telling that the victim made note of a low whistling sound that he heard minutes before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you had used to train your serpent friend. Snakes have no ears. Like, snakes definitely have no ears. They use their tongues to like, feel the environment or something like that, I think. To train? He's done with you, okay? Let him dance, alright? Indeed, you'd put the serpent through... Oh my god, that sounded like a Jinjo. I thought I was playing Banjo-Kazooie for like 2 seconds. That literally sounded exactly like the Jinjo noise in Banjo-Kazooie. Indeed, you put the serpent through this ventilator and wait. After a period, you'd summon it back with a whistle. You couldn't know if the animal had done its duty, so you would listen for signs of life next door. If the victim appeared not to have been dispatched, you released the snake once more. Do you deny the snake has undergone such training?
It's not true.
And he doesn't care. Having slithered through the ventilator and down the bell cord, the creature needed only to sink its fangs in once. And its venom will course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. That is the true nature of the speckled bond that took the poor young man's life. There can be no doubt. My logic is infallible. Your logic is not infallible. Snakes, there is so much you said about snakes that was completely illogical, sir, actually. Thus concludes Sherlock Sholmes' great deduction of the speckled bond. Sherlock Sholmes is growing on me. I can't lie. It's growing on me by a lot. But you're wrong. You're wrong by a lot of things. Snakes do not have ears. And, they don't drink milk. So, that's that. Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake a killing machine. There, on the floor, you observe a saucer of milk. The promise of food is the key to training any creature. Incredible! You've solved the mystery! Amazing. Your great deduction really lives up to his name. I see now why Sherlock Sholmes has become such a household name. Oh, I hate that it looks so glitchy right now. My dear Mon, it was nothing remarkable. As the Russians say, I could have done it with one left hand. I could have done it with one left hand. I don't know what that means.
Could I venture an opinion, Mr. Sholmes?
But of course, what's on your mind?
It's just about your deductions before. Some things don't quite make sense to me.
I'm surprised she's the one actually bringing it to attention since she loves this guy so much. I welcome questions as to my method and will answer both loudly and proudly.
Oh, well, good. First of all, snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family.
You are well informed, madame.
And reptiles, don't drink milk.
Ah.
It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see.
She has her notes, okay? Lined and alphabetical.
So, I'm not sure it would be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward.
No matter. Madame Miss Pavlova used some other treats to encourage her pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example, the logic holds. It's not merely an example. You saw milk on the floor, so therefore you assumed that the snake would be the one drinking the milk. Why else would there be milk in a bowl on the floor? I'm guessing it would be a cat. Cats drink milk, or at least, in cartoons, cats drink milk. I have no idea if cats drink milk in real life. I have no real life knowledge of cats to that degree.
Well, there is something else. Snakes have no ears.
Ah.
Yes, so I'm not sure it would really be possible to signal to a snake by whistling.
But madame, what are the tales from Arabia? Have you not heard of the snakes that dance to the sounds of a flute?
I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movements.
Oh, I see. Honestly, this is news to me too. I have grown up watching different TV shows and maybe even movies that have snake charmers in them. And they usually use, like he said, a flute to play music, and the snake comes up out of the basket, dancing to it or something. I didn't put 3 and 3 together until this moment, but yeah, that's not really something I actually considered. I know snakes don't have ears, but I didn't really think about the Arabian storytelling that I have seen. No hands, no feet, no ears. These creatures are so inept as to be practically useless. Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Sholmes. They do have a lot not going for them, I have to admit.
There is one other thing.
You have more?
Snakes use the scales on their bellies to propel themselves. That I also didn't know. So, I'm not really sure that a snake could manage to climb up a flat cord or a flat bale cord like the ones in these cabins.
Then he should try harder. He is so pissed at the snakes.
Please, don't be angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it couldn't have come back without any help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine a snake could have had a part in this.
But it is here, I must admit. Oh, he's so dejected. No. We love you. Okay, me and Suicidal both love you. You're fine. Please cheer up. You just your deduction was it had a couple of holes in it. Don't be sad. Stop.
I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh no. You don't mean.
Yes, we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' latest deductions and turn them into the great ones they ought to be.
Okay, and with that, I am going to wind up ending this episode. I want to fix and buffer, or just try to fix the quality of the video that's happening. It's stuttering a little bit, and I want to fix the stuttering. So I figure right now, right before Ryunosuke pretends to not like, but likes and enjoys the dance of this deduction with Mr. Sholmes. Before we get to that, we're going to end and wrap this video up here, and in the next one we shall see what conclusions Ryunosuke comes up with and tries to piece together a few of the bits and bobs of what Mr. Sholmes had wrong. So I am sorry for my absence, but thanks again if you are returning. A returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back and watching this episode. I appreciate you so much because I know I've been gone for a very long time, and it was just to mostly like get things together. I have a desk now, I have a microphone, I have a better Elgato capture device, so things are looking up. Now, needless to say, I still have a lot of work to do, but in the meantime, I can get back to recording, which is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I just didn't want to keep recording and having very low quality videos for you guys. So with that said, thanks again to anyone returning. If you are a new viewer, you are appreciated too, because I feel like I just ramble. Like if I am allowed to, I will ramble. So anyways, to each and every last one who is watching this, thank you so much. And until next time, I hope you all have a great and wonderful day. Adios. Bye.